Music Man, and I grew up 4 blocks away from the Footlight Club, which is the oldest community theater in the U.S. and it started in the late 1800s in this big beautiful building, and it was, when I went there as a kid, it was the ceilings were falling apart and the whole thing, and over the years the members and through grants and working hard, it's refurbished as one of a really beautiful theater. And I didn't know, growing up in Boston, I didn't know how lucky we are until I moved to New York. And you know, a theater, you could call a closet a theater in New York, like literally, because they're so small. You know, they call them black box theaters, and so we were really fortunate to have that. Yeah, the first show I did there was Gary, Indiana, and let's give it a go. Maybe I'll explain more. Gary, Indiana, let me say it once again. Gary, Indiana, that's the town that knew me when. If you'd like to know a logical explanation, how I happened upon this elegant syncopation, I will say without a moment of hesitation, there is just one place that can light my face. Gary, Indiana, not Louisiana, Paris, France, New York, or Rome, but Gary, Indiana, my home sweet home. Now, you're gonna do a Broadway show, you gotta talk over a vamp, so that's what I'm doing. Now Winthrop had a lisp, because he didn't have his 2 front teeth. And most people know that role was done by Ron Howard when he was little redhead guy with freckles and the thing and I remember the director taking me aside to choreograph the whole thing. And he gave me a cane. I was like, and I was so excited. I was really in the theater and I could feel it, ladies and gentlemen. I could feel it. And I remember even on the dress rehearsal, I missed a cue. I wasn't even at the end of the show. I was backstage crying because I couldn't get my pants on. I was earning my stripes very early on, but turns out that I felt very at home on stage, and I sang this song, and the first night I sang the song, I ended on a big note with my arms wide open, and they kept screaming and applauding, and I wouldn't move. So the next night, the director was like, Joseph, if you could just get up at the end of the song eventually, maybe a little sooner, so we can get along with the show. But I was hooked, and it was a fun show. So, anyways, we'll do the whole thing. Gary, Indiana, let me say it once again. Gary, Indiana, that's the town that knew me when. Son of a gun! If you like to know a logical explanation, how I happen to call this elegant syncopation, I will pay without a moment of hesitation. There is just one place. It's a long way from Twisted and